let's wait
I'm
for
breaking it.
Making a criminal out of me, Corey. I was breaking for that one. So I've had the privilege and the pleasure of reviewing the all-new Sena 10c. And this unit was provided courtesy of Motorcyclegear.com. And I just want to make a little recap of what I think of the camera so far. The whole idea is that you can record your video from your helmet. It's a helmet-mounted camera, and it also functions as a Bluetooth intercom. It will also record the audio from the intercom. That's actually how I'm recording my voice right now, is through the 10c. And it's really cool. You should get one. Like, my favorite part about it is that I can selectively record any audio that the 10c can pick up. So we can do either just my voice right now. It's recording that. We can play a little bit of music, play some tunes, and the 10c will record that. It'll also record any phone conversations you might have. If you have it paired with your phone and you're having a conversation on your phone. Or it will record intercom conversations, which in my opinion, that's probably going to be like the biggest thing that I'm really using it for, is recording intercom conversations. Overall, this is a really good little camera, and it packs a lot of features into such a tiny little package. And by the way, tiny, this thing is really small, like in comparison with your average sport camera. It's definitely on the smaller side, and a lot of these sport cameras, they need an extra case in order to make them waterproof. You know, you got to put your waterproof case around it just in case you get stuck in the rain, or some of them won't even mount to a helmet without its case. The 10c is already water resistant. It's already weather resistant, so you don't need anything extra. And what that translates to is a nice little weight savings. Now, you might be thinking, okay, wow, it weighs a whole, 4 ounces less than it could weigh. Well, don't discount that, because that's sitting on your head. If it weighs less, that's less strain on your neck. If you're riding for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours and you've got a big bulky sports camera on the side of your head, that thing can start to wear on your neck a little bit and strain it. And it's uncomfortable. And you want to take the helmet off. You want to stop and get you some old man pain medication, because you just can't take the pain anymore. Well, you don't need to with the 10c. It's so small that I don't even notice it being there on my helmet. In terms of the video quality, first thing, make sure that you have a Class 10 SD card, micro SD card. If you don't have that, you're going to have sketchy image quality. The actual intercom to intercom works really well. I've been testing that out with my buddy using his SMH10. Talking back and forth, everything comes out pretty clear. The Sena says that you'll get up to a mile in range, and I found that typically range is not the limiting factor. What really is the limiting factor is whether you can maintain line of sight. But as long as you can put up with cars breaking your line of sight, trees breaking your line of sight, or just going around curves where your line of sight is interrupted, in that case, you're probably looking realistically at a range between 200 and 6 to 800 feet. It again really depends on having line of sight a lot. You probably can go a lot farther as long as you can guarantee line of sight, but that's the real limiting factor, that, as far as I've seen. There are definitely a few things that I'd like to see Sena do to improve the camera. I would really like to see an image preview or a video preview that you can see on your phone, because there's no screen on this camera. And since there's no screen, setting it up perfectly is a little bit tricky. Me, I went through several videos where the image was pointed down too far, or it was tilted to the left or to the right. And you know, you've got all the adjustability that you're going to need with being able to tilt it up and down using the mount, or tilt the camera lens left or right. But it's difficult to use all that adjustability if you don't know what the camera is taking a picture of. So it'd be great to have that option. The other feature that I really would like to see implemented is dash cam style loop recording, to where you're constantly looping over old footage that you don't need anymore. The video quality is really good. It's at least on par with any other sports camera that I've seen. Now, I'm not a sports camera aficionado. I'm not a GoPro owner. I don't own any other action cameras, and the 10C is my first action camera that I've ever personally had the pleasure of using. However, what I can compare it to is I am quite familiar with prosumer model cameras and with DSLRs and cameras that I have used in the past, just not sports cameras. And I can say that when you compare it to like a DSLR, no, it's not going to look anywhere near as good. But it's still pretty good for what it is. There's almost no motion blur. I thought that we were going to see a bit of motion blur, even like at the lower frame rate at 30 frames per second. I expected to see some motion blur. I did not see any motion blur as a result of a low frame rate. It would have been nice to get 1080 at 60 frames per second, but it's really not even an issue anymore. I think that my favorite part of this camera is that this is the full package. This is you are ready to motovlog right out of the box. All you need to do is put the thing on your helmet, make it charge it up, get an SD card, and you are ready to go. And that's just a beautiful thing, because there's no other package that I'm aware of right now that you can simply just start motovlogging without buying some extra stuff that you would need. This is really cool. Just slap it in your helmet, hit the record button, and you become a YouTube star. Just capture something funny on video, and there you go. You can be your very own Cycle Cruiser. Shout out to Cycle Cruiser. I watch your videos. The lighting conditions that the camera has to adapt to, sometimes those can be very demanding, and it still looks great. It adapts very quickly between very low amounts of light and high amounts of light, back and forth. So you'll get to see a very brief example right here, and I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Most other cameras that I see, it's kind of like someone's taking a dial and turning a dial down slowly, like click, 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 and then it gets a little bit brighter, a little bit brighter, a little bit brighter when you enter a low light area. But as far as I've seen, it's almost instantaneous. It's just like boom, and there you go, and boom. Image looks beautiful. I didn't really see any video that was overexposed or didn't have good saturation for the colors. Everything looked really good. There was nothing for all you video guys out there. I'm a video guy. I'm just trying to talk so that anybody can understand. But for all the video guys out there, you're going to be pretty satisfied with the quality of video that you captured from this camera.